Shells by Cynthia Rylant. You hate living here. Michael looked at the woman speaking to him. No, Aunt Esther, I don't. He said it dully, sliding his milk glass back and forth on the table. I don't hate it here. Esther removed the last pan from the dishwasher and hung it above the oven. You hate it here, she said, and you hate me. I don't, Michael yelled. It's not you. The woman turned to face him in the kitchen. Don't yell at me, she yelled. I'll not have it in my home. I can't make you happy, Michael. You just refuse to be happy here, and you punish me every day for it. Punish you? Michael gawked at her. I don't punish you. I don't care about you. I don't care what you eat or how you dress or where you go or what you think. Can't you just leave me alone? He slammed down the glass, scraped his chair back from the table, and ran out the door. Michael! Yelled Esther. They had been living together, the two of them, for 6 months. Michael's parents had died, and only Esther could take him in, or only she had offered to. Michael's other relatives could not imagine dealing with a 14-year-old boy. They wanted peaceful lives. Esther lived in a condominium in a wealthy section of Detroit. Most of the area's residents were older, like her, and afraid of the world they lived in, like her. They stayed indoors much of the time. They trusted few people. Esther liked living alone. She had never married or had children. She had never lived anywhere but Detroit. She liked her condominium. But she was fiercely loyal to her family, and when her only sister had died, Esther insisted she be allowed to care for Michael. And Michael, afraid of going anywhere else, had accepted. Oh, he was lonely. Even 6 months after their deaths, he still expected to see his parents, sitting on the couch as he walked into Esther's living room, waiting for the bathroom as he came out of the shower, coming in the door late at night. He still smelled his father's old spice somewhere, his mother's talc. Sometimes he was so sure one of them was somewhere around him that he thought maybe he was going crazy. His heart hurt him. He wondered if he would ever get better. And though he denied it, he did hate Esther. She was so different from his mother and father. Prejudiced. She only admired those who were white and Presbyterian. Selfish. She wouldn't allow him to use her phone. Complaining. She would always had a headache or a backache or a stomachache. He didn't want to, but he hated her. And he didn't know what to do except lie about it. Michael hadn't made any friends at his new school, and his teachers barely noticed him. He came home alone every day and usually found Esther on the phone. She kept in close touch with several other women in nearby condominiums. Esther told her friends she didn't understand Michael. She said she knew he must grieve for his parents, but why punish her? She said she thought she might send him away if he couldn't be nicer. She said she didn't deserve this. But when Michael came in the door, she always quickly changed the subject. One day after school, Michael came home with a hermit crab. He had gone into a pet store looking for some small living thing, and hermit crabs were selling for just a few dollars. He'd bought one and a bowl. Esther, for a change, was not on the phone when he arrived home. She was having tea and a crescent roll and seemed cheerful. Michael wanted badly to show someone what he had bought, so he showed her. Esther surprised him. She picked up the shell and poked the long, shiny nail of her little finger at the crab's claws. Where is he? She asked. Michael showed her the crab's eyes peering through the small opening of the shell. Well, for heaven's sake, come out of there, she said to the crab, and she turned the shell upside down and shook it. Aunt Esther! Michael grabbed for the shell. All right, she turned it right side up. Well, she said, what does he do? Michael grinned and shrugged his shoulders. I don't know, he answered. Just grows, I guess. His aunt looked at him. An attraction to a crab is something I cannot identify with. However, it's fine with me if you keep him, as long as I can be assured he won't grow out of that bowl. She gave him a hard stare. He won't, Michael answered. I promise.